Valerie, are you still with us? Okay, we're gonna start with the pledge. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call.
Nick?
Here.
Floyd?
Here.
Valerie?
Yes.
Clay?
Here.
Andres?
Here. No comments?
No registered public comments?
Okay. Review of February 22nd, 2023 meeting minutes.
I didn't see anything wrong with it, they look good.
It's on you guys because I wasn't here.
So we need a motion to pass or approve the February meeting minutes.
I'll move to approve it.
Second?
Valerie Gordon, second.
Thank you, ma'am. Roll call, Nick,
Valerie Gordon, second.
Floyd,
Yes.
Valerie,
Yes.
Clay,
Yes.
Andres.
Yes.
Okay, review February 22nd, 2023 financial statement.
For the month of February, we have $2,582,525 in the bank. It's roughly down about $93,000 from the previous month, but that's in part due to the Medicare deductibles, so that'll start coming up here in the next month. We'll start seeing that coming back up. There's not a whole lot going on. Medical supply shortage is still an issue, but our supplies year to year, our supplies is down about $11,000. Our fuel's up, but gas prices are starting to rise again, so that's going to fluctuate all year. Vehicle repairs is about the same year to year, and vehicle maintenance is up about $5,000 year to year. Have anything concerning?
Okay, director's report.
We have to move to accept the financial statements,
I'll make a motion to accept the financials.
and then we need a second.
I'll second.
Clay,
I'll second.
is that you?
That's Clay.
Okay.
Sorry, we're all kind of lost. I figured we did it, but I couldn't remember. I was like, oh, okay. You get through it. All right.
So we have a motion and a second to accept the February financial statements. Nick,
Yes.
Floyd,
Yes.
Valerie,
Yes.
Clay,
Yes.
Andres.
Yes.
All right, now we go through it.
Dr. DeWall was supposed to be here last week to do the MAM training, but due to the expected weather, we pushed it back to next week, so we'll do an online thing next week. So we'll get that done. And all of our ALS, not all of our ALS, but all of our paramedics will be able to do MAM after that. Billing company, Barb met with EMSMC today. Nothing of concern. It looks like our accounts receivable is starting to go up. And they have uploaded all of our old AR from the previous billing company into their system and is now viewable. So we're able to go in and see if they're able to do anything with some of that.
And I forgot to tell you as well that next week they'll start sending out those first statements to those old customers. And then they're gonna also go back and review any customers who had possibly had payment plan arrangements to try to get in contact with them and get that back up and going.
Okay. And I should have had the printout, but I didn't think about it till now. They were looking at the old AR and they're thinking they can collect maybe about 400,000 from that. So we'll be able to start collecting on some of that. USDA loan new building, we're waiting on Beltry to provide final numbers, and then we'll present to the bank. We're looking at hopefully the end of the month to do that. Found out from Les earlier that we got approved for our
Water tap. Second water tap.
for the sprinkler system. So we had to increase that. Yeah, we increased that to 4 inches.
It's a large
Yeah.
water tap.
So the city approved that last night. The ambulance that we have up in Alabama now to be remounted should be completed by the end of the month. Once that's completed, we'll go out there to inspect it and we'll drive it back we'll have to drive it to the decal shop so it can get decaled, and then we'll submit it to see if the state honors the grant request on that, or if we just have to eat that. Cause that was from the 2021 grant, so that's still up for the year. Our grant for last year, for the re-chassis for 1501, that chassis's been ordered, but still there's no production date, no been assigned, so we're still in a holding pattern with that. As part of that last grant, we did order and distribute our ballistic vests, and we received reimbursement on March 10th. So we got our 50% back on that. February 24th, I did the desk review for the Medicaid supplemental payment. So now we go to the audit phase, and then once we go to the audit phase, they'll tell us how much we're getting back, and we'll probably receive reimbursement for Medicaid probably September or so this year. So I'm not sure what that's gonna look like. The state increased their Medicaid payments last year by a decent amount, so I don't know if we're gonna get a lot back on the Medicaid supplement, but we'll get something back. We hosted a communications meeting with federal and state employees on February 28th, and it actually went really well. And I don't know if it was because of that or in addition to that, but Nick informed me that we're gonna get a new 800 megahertz tower at the CSP building in the near future. So that'll help with a lot of our radio coverage in this area where it's kind of lacking now. So that was welcome news. It was great news. March 6th, I finally got access to the Medicare portal. So I'm inputting the Grand Ambulance data for that. I have to have that submitted by May, and that's a mandated thing. If I fail to do that, we'll have a 10% reduction in payment collections. So I'm working on that. I'm working with a billing company to get their stuff, and I'm working with Bernadette to get her stuff. So that's all going fairly smoothly. March 7th, we had our Southeast Southern RETAC Communications meeting, and that's to get both of these regions, hospitals and EMS agencies on Pulsera, and that sounds like that's moving forward. So part of that system is basically iOS-based application that'll allow us to communicate to the hospital a lot more seamlessly and quicker. So, and we'll be able to upload EKGs, vitals. We can do like a little voice narrative and send it to them. And on the hospital end, they'll get an alert. It'll be a tone alert that says you've got an incoming patient. And then they can see anything from that point on that we put in there. So we can do updates, all that stuff, and they'll be able to see it. So that's moving forward. That's a free thing that Pulsera offers right now. And then the state is looking at possibly buying the full version. So that'll give everybody access to the full version. It'll be kind of cool.
Dave, does that work in rural areas, whether, where sometimes it's challenging to have communication? Does that work? I'm just curious, or is that just only when you're like within town limits?
So it works off of cell and Wi-Fi. So as long as you have that, it works. But it'll give like an ETA. And so it's kind of like your mapping. So if you go en route while you have service, it'll continue to count down even when you lose service up until the point that you regain service, and then it'll update automatically.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
March 16th, I had another Medicare webinar for that ground data stuff that's almost weekly anymore. March 21st was the RETAC meeting, and then we had RETAC grant reviews. So they asked us questions about our grant. We put in for 3 Zoll ventilators and 2 more Lucas devices, and they didn't have a lot of questions, so I think that's looking good. In May, that'll go up to the state. We'll probably have to go to Denver to present that, and then we'll hear back in June, probably August, to see if we get that grant. And then earlier this morning, our Stryker rep came down and we're demoing the LifePak 15s. So that's an older monitor, but they're looking at coming out with a new monitor here in the next year or so. And the user interface is going to be similar. And so we're looking, if our staff likes the user interface of this, then we'll look at getting the new version. If they don't, we'll look at something else. So that's the reason we're gonna demo this. We've got one on the truck today, and we're able to demo it for a few weeks, months, and see how that goes, so. Everything's looking good. Moving onward and upward. Everybody seems to be happy, so that's all I have.
Questions? Nope. Okay, you're up.
All right, operation report for February 2023, 172 calls for service. Medic 3 did 2 calls. We're down on IFTs. January, I believe, was 29. February was 23. Total IFT miles were 5212. Some things that are changing coming up fairly soon is going to be as of the 2nd, which will be the next pay period start. Freddie is moving to part-time, which opened up his ALS position. We had no ALS options other than we did hire a part-time paramedic, works opinion. So what we did was we hired an EMT that lives just up Highway 12 a little ways. We'll be putting him, he starts at 28th, putting him through the FTO program. During the FTO program, it'll be a kind of a mismatch between ALS and BLS with the full-time or part-time staff. We anticipate probably, I would say, a month and a half, we will go back to one shift having a BLS car. C shift with Darren will be BLS. That's anticipated to run through September, November-ish timeframe when Mitch and Liz get out of paramedic school. Good news is once they get out of paramedic school, we'll actually be a paramedic heavy. So we'll have more paramedics than we will EMTs, which never is a bad thing. We also have 2 other, I got word that we have 2 other EMTs that are seeking part-time, so we'll be looking at that as well. Staffing is still rough, and we still have Liz out on workman's comp. She goes to the surgeon in Springs tomorrow for the second opinion, and then we'll know. I have her off the schedule until the 1st of April, but I anticipate it'll be longer than that. So we'll keep doing what we're doing as far as that goes. We're still down to 3 rigs. Found out that the one rig needs a turbo. It's a $5,000 job. And it's been kind of discouraging because Exelon's did not put that, we get a delayed warranty waiver when we buy those ambulances. So the warranty actually expired, which I went down on the day it expired to this Ford. And to have them look at the problem. They said that it's not under warranty because by the time it got in the shop, it was 8 days later. So, come to find out, I got the information from Exelon's, which gives us the delay in warranty, which bumps our warranty out to June 28th. Unfortunately, they didn't do what they needed to do when they filed that. So now it's going to be probably first week in April, for us to get that truck going. So the choice is pay out of pocket $5,000, which we're already putting an engine in one. So we decided that we're going to let those along and move that direction. So, like Gabe said, we're hoping, I'm fairly optimistic that we should have that remounted chassis back, and that'll be our inter-facility truck, so we're not putting as many miles on these bigger trucks, and hopefully have that by 1st of May. Talked to Donnie in Raton, still looking at mid-May on the engine. And the only other list thing I had, did you have that in miscellaneous for the monitor and the? That's all I have. Do you have any questions?
I have one. I'm sorry. I was taking note. You said you have two more EMTs looking for part-time?
Potentially,
Current
yes.
employees
They,
or people coming in to
we've
part?
got word that there's 2 more people that want to come in for part-time.
Okay, not current employees wanting to switch. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not came across, but as you kept.
I thought you were really calm. I was really
Yeah,
impressed.
yeah.
I'm over here freaking out going, oh no.
I'm sorry that came out that way, no.
Okay, thank you.
You go into executive session. You do that part. You're good.
So, someone needs to make a motion to go into executive session under Colorado statutes 24-642 4B to confer with attorney regarding litigation, and with Colorado revised statute 24-6 402 4E to determine positions relative to matters subject to negotiations and developing strategies and negotiations for same.
I'll make a motion to what Barb just said.
Let her read it out like.
I will second.
Okay.
We have a first and we have a second, so we shall vote. Nick?
Yes.
Floyd?
Yes.
Valerie?
Yes.
Clay?
Yes.
Andres?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there someplace I can go? I want to come back because you're going to continue the
You
meeting.
can go in the boardroom.
Okay.
So we will retire from regular session at 4:46. Reporters off.
Yeah, you'll make